Hello, my name is Michael NARANJO and welcome to Real Music Works. Today I'm going to speak about a project called Encounter. This is a project headed by Calvin Beukes and his amazing wife, Bianca Beukes. Now, I met these two when they still weren't married. They were at a church, part of a praise and worship team in AFM here in South Africa.
Yep.
And I got to know them while I was working on another project called Kimberley Street. And these guys came over, and it was such a breath of fresh air, to be honest. When they came in, they had a very, very good drummer. Calvin was on the guitar, B was on vocals, and inside of this youth event evening, they started doing some praise and worship. And at that particular moment in time, I was busy doing a artist development program and also recording the album for the church. It was in Kimberley Street. There, I saw these two and I thought they were great. I was like, wow, maybe one day I can do something for them as well. I always, that's how I normally get myself into more work. That's, my wife says that I always create more work for myself when I have a great idea. And I thought these guys are great and I'd love to record maybe one or two songs or just shoot something for them and, just bless them and send them on the way and just see what, where they can go from there. Realizing that Calvin started asking a lot of questions about, how could it happen? And I told him, well, I just need to get to rehearsal. I'd love to get to know you. And so I started going to the rehearsals. He would pick me up. And I really thoroughly enjoyed the atmosphere. And he introduced me to his group. The praise and worship team and the ministry is called Encounter. And I truly encountered the presence of God when I was chilling with these amazing human beings. I didn't know them. Every time they would just open their mouths, and it was their simplicity. It was their, I was there to encourage them, to tell them, listen, it is actually sounding great. The minute I started encouraging and telling them there's definitely something beautiful here that can be nurtured, I explained to Calvin how I would be able to put their songs together. All I needed him was to come to my place with his acoustic, and we set it up with the click track, and he would lay a guide vocal or guide acoustic. I would spend some time with it, cut it, turn it inside out, make an intro, arrange it, think about how I was going to approach it, and listen to what Calvin enjoyed listening to his band. And the songs that he would sing at praise and worship, the other songs from the other praise and worship teams, I would, the famous guys, I would listen to the Hillsongs tunes that he would do with the other songs that he would do, and I would say, listen, I know where you kind of want to go with this, so I will do what I can to make sure that you guys are able to rehearse it, and then whatever I put down, you guys can just carry on and carry it forward. And rehearse these songs. And once you guys are well rehearsed, you guys can just flow. So that was the idea with getting involved with Encounter, where Calvin, who was so gracious enough to say he wanted me to be a part of the whole experience. So I said, okay, cool, let's just do this, So I carefully started putting the songs together. I carefully started having him come over, he would lay down his vocals and I would do some rough mixes and stuff like that. So we would actually really get ahead and do at least, I think, 5 to 6 songs. We're going to be releasing an EP soon. He's got some stuff that's online already, but the main factor with the approach and the lesson, I guess, for this video is sometimes when you are working with a group of people, it's just, everybody is dealing with things, especially when lockdown happened. A lot of this production kind of sort of stalled, so we started doing a lot of video edits together, and I started capturing some of their old footage. I'm also going to be making a little short little a making of Encounter, little short, real music works, a little documentary that explains the making of this particular record, but or this EP. So this was just something that can ignite and start. This falls under the real. This falls under the Guerrilla Soul Music, which is more of a ministry-based, artist development program. They own all the publishing, they own all the copyright, everything is theirs. All I did was help them build the songs to an extent that they can actually use it now for the ministry. And it's such a wonderful. I mean the logo. Let me talk about the logo now that I'm looking at the artwork. I remember that he said no, he wants to have the logo, sort of upright, like vertical. So I kept telling him, no man, you got to keep it straight, and maybe let's make it a new one. And so there's all this experience that that I have in the industry to try and put together, especially branding. When you get out there in the beginning, you got to have the branding pretty strong. So what Calvin explained to me, he says, Mike, it's very simple. Branding's been like this. All our posters has always been like this. Our situation is known to have our, and he explained to me this heartbeat is the lifeline, the encounter that one has with a relationship with God. That is the vertical encounter. That's the vertical relationship. And so I left the artwork straight up to Vaughn Clark from CVJ Designs, and Vaughn, I asked him, everything about the art direction, about the album or the EP cover was very important. I explained to Calvin, do you want a white cover with this? I think that'll be cool. I don't need to be in the cover. This is something that is a ministry between you, or do you want to be in the cover? He just said, no, I want the three of us. So I firstly thank you, Calvin. Whether I'm in the neighborhood or not in the neighborhood, Encounter, we'll always do this together. I'm really honored to be a part of this because it's so difficult to find people that are a lot of people run with emotion. They rely on emotional tendencies with praise and worship, and it becomes sort of a very fine line between emotional manipulation if you don't have your story straight with God. And what I found here is I didn't find an emotional thing. I found a very, very calculated intent of worship. It is a complete worship group. The hearts of these guys, they have no interest in music industry stuff. They don't care about the royalties, and I'm the one who has to. That's the lesson for this video is that it doesn't matter out of whatever goodness of your heart that you may have. I explained this to Calvin very carefully. I said, Calvin, we live in a real world, and your gift and everything that you give unto the Lord will reciprocate in one way or another. It will come back to you, and this is a great way to do it with people, paying for the sacrifice that one makes to put these things together. It takes a lot out of people. It takes a lot out of these human beings. We are not the gods. We are God's children, and for them it is all about that. And for me, it's just I do my best as a big brother just to make sure that his interests and his wife's interests, and they're going to have a baby soon, and the baby's coming when the baby's big and all that. There's an inheritance for the child. There's an inheritance for him and his wife and his family that comes from something that they have done, that people, when they want to hear their songs, because believe you me, when you buy a Hillsong album, there's publishing going on. There is serious monetization things happening, copyrights and publishing and all these things. They don't just give those things out for free. And this is how things are grown. Of those kind of stuff for them. So it is just an honor to be a part of the Encounter ministry, even if it's from far, near, far and near. There's no distance with God. So We've established a relationship that wherever I'm available, if I'm overseas, all he needs to do is put something in a click and a vocal and a guide track and send it to me, and I'll help him. If you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe and follow us on social medias. Make sure that oh, the mosquito, I don't do well with mosquitoes. If you like this video, please subscribe, check us on social media, and take good care of yourself. And remember that you have only got one voice. Take good care of your voice. It's not like a guitar string that you can replace. It's not like a drum skin that you can replace. So, my name is Michael NARANJO, and this is Real Music Works.